What up, you muffs? We got Muff Squad here. We got our 19th place Philadelphia Regionals list here with Jason Patrick Annichiarico. And we're gonna just do a deck profile here. He's gonna run through his rounds and matchups and explain the list in detail. So here he is, guys.
Oh yeah, what's up? I'm Jason. Gonna go over the list real quick so you can skip the video if you just want that. Got 4-4 Malamar, obviously like every other list. Got 2 Necrozma GX, 1 Dawn Wings, 1 Mars Shadow, and 3 Deoxys for the attackers. If I were to run it back, I would have changed one of the Deoxyses for a Shining Lugia or Mimikyu. Different way to go for consistency. Got 1 Oranguru, got 2 Lele, 4-4 Cynthia Lily, got 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Mysterious Treasure, 2 Nest Ball, 3 Acrobike. Pretty consistent list, but I would make some changes. I'll go over that later. 4 Guzma, 2 Choice Band, 2 Stretcher, which isn't too standard, I would say, but I really like it for getting back a Malamar if I have to discard it, getting back Necrozma for 3rd attack. I just really enjoy 2 Stretcher. Then 11 Psychic, if I were to run it back, I would probably want a 12th. And then got biggest mistake of the tournament. I got 1 Escape Rope and 1 Switch. I intended to take out the Escape Rope for a 2nd Switch before the tournament, but I forgot to and ended up losing me some matches. So to go over the matches, round 1 went up against William Holer. He was playing Rayquaza Vikavolt matchup that is pretty even, I'd say, but ultimately game 1 I dead drew, game 2 he dead drew, game 3 I drew none of my energies, and that was it. So it was pretty disappointing. Then round 2 had Morgan Purdy. He was playing Zoroark Lycanroc. Both games 1 and 2 he drew absolutely nothing, and I was just like, this game's not really fun. Round 3, up against another Vikavolt Rayquaza, Tim Patton. And games 1 and 2 were similar to my first 2 rounds. Just a bunch of dead draws for either party. Game 3, we actually had a game where it was back and forth, and I ended up losing because this Escape Rope was not a Switch. I needed his active to stay the same, and I needed my guy to get to the bench. So I ended up being 1-2 going into lunch break, and I was feeling like shit. So I was just like, I'll keep playing it out, try to get points. So round 4, up against my friend Kenny No with Metagross. Metagross isn't too consistent in my opinion, so he ended up dead drawing games 1 and 2, but that's what the deck does. Ended up just getting 3 Malamar out, and I just one-shotted 2 straight Metagross, and he just scooped it up. So round 5, I was up against Anthony Del Don, I guess is how his name is. He's playing Weavile Hoopa Shrine deck. Ultimately, since I'm not playing a lot of GXs, most of my attackers are non-GXs, Shrine isn't too effective against this deck. And ultimately, I was just kind of outvaluing him because I don't need to draw into my energies. They're just all there after the first couple turns. So I 2-0'd him. Then round 6, played against a Kyler Kerstetter, and I donked his Rayquaza GX 2 games in a row. Bad games. Round 7, I was up against Christopher Costa. First decent match, I would say, the entire fucking day. Game 1, he's playing Ultra Necrozma. Malamar. And game 1, he ends up going first and is able to get 2 Malamars set up. I can't really come back. My start was a little bit too slow. Game 2, while I'm shuffling, he flashes me his hand to show a mulligan. And out of the corner of my eye, I think I see Baby Marshadow let loose. So I tell him, like, before he starts shuffling, I'm like, can you reveal that hand again? He reveals the 7. The 7th card is a Marshadow. I'm like, yeah, that's a basic Pokemon. So he starts that. The hand is completely dead. I bench him in 3 turns. And then game 3, he ends up... The Escape Rope, while it lost me 1 match, ended up winning me this one because he went for Moon's Eclipse GX. And I had Escape Rope Guzma to kill his Dawn Wings with my own Moon's Eclipse GX, which he just could not come back from. Just swung the matchup completely, and I was like, okay, Escape Rope, you get another chance. Round 8, play against William Crawford from Canada. He was playing Sylveon Guardy, and I was very elated because at 5-2, 1 more win and an intentional draw would get me into day 2 after such a bad start. And regular Necrozma GX handles Gardevoir very well, as it can actually one-shot it. So game 1, I was not happy to see both Necrozma GX prized. However, I was able to take some knockouts on EVs and Ralts, find my Necrozma GX, and I was able to kill Gardevoir for energy. He scooped it up. Game 2, I didn't price any Necrozma. I had no trouble setting up, and it was just a matter of going through the motions. 3 Psychic Recharges, attachment to Necrozma, 1-shot Guardies. He realized that there wasn't much he could do, and I finished that match 2-0. So at 6-2, I played against Frank Persick in the last round. He was considering playing it out, as it would give him a better record going into day 2, make it easier to top 8. But after seeing all of the people around us high-five each other and congratulate each other on making day 2, he was like, I feel like a dick. And then he accepted my offer of an ID. So after a really bad start, went on to day 2. I was feeling pretty okay. The list I'm still not happy with, but go on to day 2, and I'm like, I'll just take it 1 game at a time. Round 10, play against Matthew Ronaldo, who's playing Beast Box Naganadel Stack Attack deck. And I was just like, oh, so this is going to be a good day, I guess, because that matchup is basically unwinnable for them. Game 1, he doesn't draw anything either. I just bench him in like 3 turns. And then we get deck checked. They come back with their decks. Mine is fine. His, they find a deck list error and give him a 2 prize penalty. He chooses just give me the game. He's like, I'm not gonna, waste our time. The matchup's already bad. No point in playing it out if he's got a disadvantage. So 1-0 day 2, round 2, played against Grant Manley. And it turns out Shining Lugia in Vigabulu is really good against Malamar. He ended up just destroying me game 1. Game 2, I ended up opening Marshadow, a bunch of Psychic Energies, a switch, and I was dead by turn 3. Then round 3, play against a Buzzrock that ended up dead drawing twice in a row. Then round 4, of day 2, play against a Vikavolt Rayquaza that I ended up just prismatic bursting 3 Rayquaza GXs for the game, pretty much both games. 2-0'd him. Then the penultimate round, day 2, I play against my friend John Orgel. He's playing Metagross. Game 1, bad draws for me. Game 2, I escape rope. He brings up a Beldum, and I don't actually knock it out because I can't. And we're just stuck in a really awkward spot for a while. Eventually, he does get the Metagross up, but by then I have 3 Malamars. I one-shot the Metagross. He scoops it up shortly after. And then game 3, very back and forth. I prized my 2 rescue stretchers, and that's not too fun, but ultimately I thought I was done when I whiffed drawing a Marshadow to take a knockout in Metagross, but I only had non-GX attackers out, so I just hit a Lele for knockout with Deoxys. He knocked out my Deoxys, but I got Rescue Stretcher to bring back the Necrozma, and I was able to end the game. But that put me within 1 win of top 8. Unfortunately, I paired up against Alex Szymanski, who's playing Buzzgarb Shrine, which I had no real playtesting against. Game 1, I dead draw. Game 2, he dead draws. Game 3, he attaches Rainbow Energy and Choice Band to Trubbish, the Slugmon bench, and judges. I draw into not the greatest hand. He draws into a Cynthia and a Macargo. Ends up just kind of rolling over me. Wasn't the happiest, to lose so close to top 8, but the run was 10-4-1, and for such a bad list that I felt I was playing, okay run. 19th place, $250, can't complain too much. If I were to make changes to the list, Escape Rope comes out for, actually both Escape Rope and Switch come out for 2 skateboards. Deoxys comes out for Shining Lugia, and I would probably find 1 more card to cut for a 12th Psychic, but other than that, the list was pretty consistent. Just kind of a boring tournament. A lot of dead draws on either my end or my opponent's. Very few great games, but the result was nice. So that's the end of this deck profile and report from the Oaks, Pennsylvania Regional Championship. That's about it.
Are you guys hot bag? Cool.